A very good morning to one and all present here. My topic for today is economic reforms, the unfinished agenda. No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. These were the opening words of Dr. Manmohan Singh at the 1991 economic reforms. We have seen the idea of our late Prime Minister. Now I would like to share my idea of India with you. Let's start at the beginning with a small case study. At the time of independence, India and China both were liberated together. They grew at the same pace until the 1970s. This was a changing point for the Chinese economy as they brought in major reforms in the manufacturing sector which India completely missed, making China today an exporter and India an importer manufacturer. Today, India has only $640 billion worth of foreign exchange reserve to China's $5 trillion, which is equivalent to our country's GDP. How can we change this? Firstly, the government should bring about reforms in the manufacturing sector. Let's look at maritime special economic zones. The government should promote this as 90% of the world's trade is conducted through sea. So, this will make transportation convenient for both exporters, importers, as well as manufacturers. I personally believe that the Skill India movement should focus a little bit more in the rural India so that they can move the disguised unemployment in the agricultural sector to the manufacturing sector, increasing our total productivity. Because if we produce more, we import less. And this will help us achieve our goal of being an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's look at another sector, the energy sector. The energy sector in India runs mostly on crude oil. We consumed a total of 233 metric tons of oil in 23-24 and spent a total of $132.4 billion just importing it, which is 26% of our GDP. Plus, when refining this oil to make petroleum-related products, there are high amounts of greenhouse gas emitted. The best example being Reliance Petroleum Limited Jamnagar, who released 32.38 million metric tons of emissions in 22-23, making it the largest contributor. How can we change this? By bringing in ethanol petroleum fuel. This is an efficient fuel that combines ethanol with petroleum. Ethanol is a byproduct of sugarcane, and India is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world. This would require collaboration with both the petroleum sector as well as the car manufacturers, as they would need to tweak their engines to make them more compatible with this fuel. Would this model work in India? Definitely would. Brazil adopted the same model in the 1970s during the oil crash. Today, 83.3% of their car sales are cars that are ethanol friendly. Let's look at another way to help the energy sector, the renewable energies. Investing in renewable energies requires large amount of capital, land and favorable weather. Capital, India's contribution to green bonds is as low as $21 billion, which is only 2.2% of the world's contribution, and $1.3 billion in the green equity sector through ESG companies. Even though we are the fifth largest economy in the world, the land problem can be combated by helping and using the government's subsidy for using solar panels which are on the rooftops that can supply energy to both residents as well as corporates. The climate change in our country is very unpredictable. This can be combated by using hybrid plants where we set up both solar panels as well as windmills to ensure that the energy generated output does not fluctuate a lot due to the climatic conditions. So, I firmly believe that the economic reforms in our country are mostly unfinished. To change is to grow. Mr. Donald Trump once said, "I was elected to represent Pittsburgh, not Paris. But I care about the Paris summit. I care about Prayagraj and its culture. I care about Patna and its heartland. And I care about our country's productivity." Let us all work together to ensure that the economic change in our country not only reforms the financial but also the biological ecosystem of our country. Let us all work together to ensure that India one day is also a developed nation. Thank you and have a great Republic Day.